What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are jumping into eyebrows, which is why I'm looking a little crazy right now. I have currently one eyebrow on and one eyebrow just how I wake up in the morning. So I do have the rest of my makeup done, but I thought it'd be kind of fun today to go through how I do my eyebrows. If you're new to my channel or just discovering this video, I have alopecia totalis, which is a pretty common autoimmune disease causing me to lose all the hair on my head. I also don't grow any natural eyebrows, so this is just totally smooth. There's a couple little hairs trying to grow back, but they usually just fall out as soon as they grow in. So it's the same thing with my eyelashes. I don't have any natural lashes, hence the fact that I wear pretty dramatic falsies because I like to be that sassy. Yeah, so today I thought it would just be fun to go through some of my favorite products and show you guys how I create natural looking eyebrows with the hair-like strokes, nice and fluffy. I feel like we're finally moving out of the trend of that Instagram brow that was so harsh and intense, and people are really interested in the fluffy hair-like strokes with eyebrows. So I'm gonna show you guys how to create this look. Let's get right into it. So first things first, there are so many good eyebrow products out there these days. We all know that Anastasia Beverly Hills kind of pioneered the good old eyebrow a few years ago, and that whole trend of paying attention to your eyebrows now has totally taken off. So there's so many good brands out there. I'm just going to be talking about a handful today to kind of give you an overview of what I like to use. Because I have alopecia, my concerns are a little bit different than just someone who has natural eyebrows already. So my hope is that this video will be most helpful for those of you also experiencing hair loss. People that have really thin or sparse eyebrows, this will help give you a map of how to draw them on from scratch. So when I'm looking at eyebrow pencils, the one thing I'm paying the most attention to is how long lasting it's going to be on my skin. So the first product I wanted to share with you guys is the Nude Sticks Brow Stylist. These are incredible. They're really uniquely shaped, kind of like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer, really similar to that formula, although this formula is much longer lasting in my opinion. These are almost completely waterproof. So the second you put them on your skin, they're gonna last all day long. I also like to take a little powder and just set them down even more, but really good quality. They also, on the other end, have a great little brow gel that just kind of screws right in the end. So if you do have some brow hairs, this is a great way to kind of brush those up. Another one of my favorite products is the Brow Blade from Urban Decay. This little guy has a brow pencil on one end, similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. So really thin and precise. You can get in there and make nice little hair-like strokes. This is also a waterproof pencil. And then on the other side, you have a really fine point, precise little tip. And this you can use to go in and create hair-like strokes. And this is kind of an ink on this side, so it'll actually stain into the skin and last all day long. So highly recommend this for long wear. Another product that I just discovered recently this year is the micro filling pen from Benefit. And this guy is really interesting. It's got a really unique little tip here. Let's see if I can show you. So this little tip here has 3 or 4 little prongs, and you can actually use this to draw precise hair-like strokes. So it's really interesting. I do like this pen. I do find that it's waterproof on my skin, but I do wish that it was a little more pigmented. The shade is really light. This is light brown, so I might have to get a deeper shade in this, but love this as well. The last eyebrow pencil I wanted to share is the Better Brows Slim Gliding Eyebrow Pencil from Bold Face Makeup. So these guys are known for their eyelashes. I'm wearing their falsies on today, but they also make some really amazing brow products. So they just came out with these, I believe, in 2020. So this is the one I'm going to be using today for my demo. Let's zoom you guys in and get these brows on. Okay, so now that we're up close and personal, you can see how I've kind of shaped this eyebrow. And this is what I do almost every day. I don't like to go for a super dramatic eyebrow. I just want something that arches fairly naturally, but has a little bit of a raise up here near the arch. And one good way to draw on eyebrows from scratch is to actually measure it out. So there is this like golden triangle rule that I learned in makeup school that I thought it would be kind of fun to share with you guys. So if you take, you can use a little brush or whatever you have, your brow pencil works fine, and just put it alongside your nose. You can kind of see where your eyebrow should start. Just to be candid with you guys, I don't do this every day. I just am so used to throwing these eyebrows on every day that I don't really measure this out usually, but I thought it'd be helpful for you guys, so I'll show you how to do it. The next step is to go kind of between the tip of your nose and the end. So right there in the middle, kind of along your nostril. And we're gonna go angled through the iris of the eye. And that's where our arch is gonna be. So we can draw a little mark. And then at the very end of the eyebrow, we're gonna go along the outside of our eye and the end of our nose. And that's hopefully where our eyebrow should end. And I like to do these marks kind of as a guideline, but don't feel like you need to totally stick with them and do this every time. So I like to take the little powder puff, my beloved powder puff, and I'll just rest this on my hand. And then we can start to kind of connect those 3 lines. And what I'm doing is I'm filling in a little below and a little above that initial line. And this is gonna give us our first little shape. So this pencil, just so you guys know, is in this shade B6. They have so many fun colors. I think they have purples and pinks and teals. They have some really fun colors of these, and they also have a really diverse shade range of browns and like deeper colors and lighter colors. So these pencils are great for just getting like, I don't know, if I feel like a lot of these types of pencils are very similar. Like they're gonna have the really thin tip and they're all gonna look pretty similar. So why would you spend so much? Like the Anastasia ones are like $20. For me, that's just crazy. I also love that this has a little spoolie, a precise little spoolie on the other tip. And so if you overdraw or you wanna just blend out the color, you can kind of go through and use that as an eraser. So if you guys have been following my work for a little while now, you know my holy grail eyebrow brush is the Anastasia 7B brush. So this brush is really sharp and precise. You can kind of see how thin it is. So this is what I use to get these hair-like strokes with a pomade. And for me, this is my preferred method. Of course, you can always go through and use a pen to just draw those on, but for me, this gives me the most control. When it comes to pomades, I have 2 favorites. So I really do like the Super Brow from KVD Vegan Beauty. They have a really great shade range and some really fun colors. I typically will use light brown and dark brown to create some dimension. And these pomades last forever. I maybe buy 1 new one per year. That might even be waiting too long, but typically it takes about a year for me to go through the whole tub, and they're about $18. So I think that's a really good value. I'll continue purchasing those as long as they make them. Hopefully that's forever. A really good dupe for that though, if you don't want to spend the extra money, is the e.l.f. brow creams. These are incredible. They're super long lasting. And they're really good quality little pomades. So this is what they look like. These pomades are pretty small, but I think they're like between $3 and $5 maybe. Really affordable. So this is the light brown shade. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this one. The way I like to apply these is to just take some product out on my brush and then just apply that right to the back of my hand. And this allows me to just close this guy up and put it away, so I'm not like leaving it open for it to dry out. That's really gonna help with the longevity of that product. My brush is just barely coated. And then I'll just look down into my mirror and I'll start drawing on some hair-like strokes. Okay, so now that I have that initial light brown color, I'm gonna go in with the KVD Vegan Beauty pomade, and this is in the shade dark brown. I like to use a little bit of this over top just to add in some dimension. So it's really helpful to have the light color to start, and then we can go through with a darker color to add some more depth. So I'm just adding a few hair strokes here to make it look like some of the hairs are standing up, some of them are sunken in. Using 2 different colors really helps add this dimension and make them look really fluffy. Okay, so now that we have that dimension added in, I'm gonna go back in with my eyebrow pencil, and I'm gonna go along the lower part of the eyebrow and the top part of the eyebrow just to smooth things out and further define that shape. The last step I like to do is just to clean up the eyebrows. So I'm going to take a little concealer. This is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, but whatever concealer you have will work great. This is in the shade Creme Brulee, so it's a nice kind of peachy skin tone color. And I just like to take a flat concealer brush. Whatever you have will work, but just something that's really going to fit precisely under your eyebrow. This is what I like to use to kind of carve out and shape the eyebrows and just clean them up a little. And then we can go through and just clean these brows up. So this just helps to clean up the appearance of the brows and just make everything look a little bit more smooth and intentional. And I like to use a small brush for this because it really does help to get in there and give me these precise little clean lines. Woo. Okay, so that's it, you guys. These are the brows that I do every single day. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to draw them on from scratch, but I've gotten pretty used to measuring them out and making sure that they're fairly even. Remember, they're sisters, not twins, so it's okay if they don't match exactly, but as long as you have some symmetry, I feel like that's a really great place to start. Play around with products. I change up my favorite products all the time, but the staples that I always keep are the brush, the ABH 7B brush, the pomade from KVD Vegan Beauty, and then some kind of concealer to clean them up. So whatever works for you. Everyone has different, product preferences, but these are my favorites and really what works for me. One last little tip that I just wanted to mention since we're here is another way to get these to last even longer throughout the day is to take a powder, or in my case, a bronzer is what I'm going to use because this is just right in front of me. I'm just going to take this bronzer in a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to tap over my eyebrows. And because this is a light bronzer, it doesn't matter, but this will help to kind of take away the shine. If you have a bald face, a bald head like me, sometimes there can be a shine left over when you turn. You can see with my lights. So I like to just tap a little bit of powder over top to kind of help diminish that and make these look even more natural. And this also helps to set them in place. So just a little tip for longevity. If you find that your brows are melting off by the end of the day, that definitely helps to just kind of set them down.
Set them down, honey. Set them down.
Set them down, honey.